Good morning, my viewers. I'm back at it. The fifth wheel camper is officially gone. Okay, and it does not break my heart. I mean, it is just gone. So now, by the way, back in here was that chicken run that I pulled out off camera. That was a bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but I mean, I kind of wish I did film it because it possibly could have served as some very handy footage. But anyway, so today I am going to do something with the shed, which I have a purpose for, which is going to be to cover that well. So yeah, now what I gotta do is I have to remove the floor. I mean, the floor is in really horrible shape, and so it's not exactly going to ruin the shed by removing it. Now let's see if I can set up this camera here so we can get some of that lovely demolishing footage. Okay, here we go. Good morning, my viewers. Well, I'm back to it again with everything, you know, with this shed, making it happen to make it into a pump house. So anyway, let me talk to you about something here. I don't know, maybe somebody out there that can help me out. Really having a this time in my life, I'm really struggling to have fun with computers, even though I love computers. Okay, I'll explain. I think in a different video I explained that I had a PS3, you know, which is PlayStation 3, that I was trying to fix so that it would stop overheating, and I tried several different things, and I mean, I tore it apart a few times, and then, you know, even I thermal pasted the processor and video chip and everything, and then I tried to pull off the plates, okay, that serve sort of as a preheat sink to the actual chips. And while I was doing that, my knife took off on me, and it pulled off a resistor off the board, and there it went. So inside the shed here is the electrical, which there's two pieces of Romex coming up. Chances are that's the two that goes into the well, and the other place I just, you know, terminated. So I know I'm gonna have to take all this apart all the way up to here, and here I know this is connected somehow to the water system, so that's gonna have to come out, or at least get capped off for now. So the flooring is up with the exception of the joists. That's, believe it or not, but I gotta take even these floor joists up for now. I might put them back later, but they gotta come out. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna test the power here. See if I got power coming in here. Okay, if it is the way I think it is, I shouldn't. But okay, I'm using my HS36 here, just to use the contactless, you know, side of this meter. So let me see. And I'm not getting anything. I'm getting nothing. Just to check it again. Okay, not getting anything. So that could make my job easier. So what I'm going to do though, but still, what I'll do here is I'm going to open up this box. Okay, because I'm going to test, oh wait a minute, not that one. I'm going to test, just see if I have any power using the leads that are with the HS36 meter. To me, using the contactless is really just kind of good for preliminary testing. I don't really trust it for much other than that. So let's see. Let me pull this out. Okay. I don't really know what to expect. Of course, everything in here is. So just as I had expected, you know, these switches and everything here are all messed up. I wouldn't have expected any less than that. What I'll do though is I'm going to test everything, and let's see here. I'm going to test it to ground, see if I got anything. Doesn't show I've got anything there. Test it to neutral. Here. I got nothing. So I think it's safe to say that I can go ahead and just disconnect this and, you know, reconnect it however I feel fit later on. Alrighty, well, I thought I had the camera rolling while I was disconnecting the wires and everything from here and testing it and the whole bit. Everything tested out to be dead, so I disconnected those wires. They were connected up here, okay, in this way. Okay, so now I'll be able to hook that back up again as soon as I finish moving the shed. Alright, well here we are. There is a hose bib that's in the shed, so I got to just take that out of here. I shouldn't have any water here because I actually have the water off at the main valve at the well, so if you get a little water, it's not a big deal. I'm going to cut it all the way down to here. I'll have to get a cap for this, you know, for the meantime, till I can figure out what I want to do with this. Also, I guess over here, where the electric comes out of the ground, I need to cut that pipe down to the ground as well. Mainly because there's no way I'll be able to keep this from mangling this pipe anyway in the wire. So I'm going to just be very careful here and cut it down to here that way. I have to redo this pipe anyway later on. I'm just trying to get it to where I can pull this out of there. Okay. Now let me get this out of here. There we go. Good. See? Now I shouldn't have that as a problem. At this point, I should be able to pull this entire shed out of here without any real problems. I'm leaving the floor joists in place for the time being because they'll serve as extra support while it's being pulled. So here we go. So here it is. Here's where the shed once sat, and now I can get in here and clean it up a bit. It's pretty bad for right now, but anyway, so yeah, now I've got to get it ready for its new home, which is going to be over this well right here. Okay. By the way, I've got that floor mat over the motor and pump because I just don't want rainwater to beat into it. So, yeah, here's the shed out here right now. I guess my next step here would be to remove all the inner joists. Okay, I can redo all this. It's a mess anyway, as you can see. I mean, some of these floor joists are completely rotted anyway. You know, they weren't really holding much, if anything. So, and the ones that were intact, they got to go either way. Now I'm going to probably keep the outer joists, you know, for now. Well, actually, I probably could just keep them for support. So, here we go. Anyway, so okay. So then I heard that I could use my computer to play my favorite PlayStation 3 games. And I tried doing that. Anyway, it's RCPS3 emulator. Maybe you've heard of it. So, okay, so I mean, I found out what I needed, what kind of a computer, or rather, what the requirements were on the hardware and everything to make that a reality. So, and well, I wasn't too sure about the video end of it at first, until I went ahead and found that wasn't going to work out. So, alright. Anyway, so what happened was I bought like a $200 computer. I mean, it had everything in it that it would need, right? I mean, 32 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of digital hard drive space. But it still had the onboard video. Okay. I mean, now, granted, I could hook up like 4 monitors or something to this particular machine. It has like an i7 core processor and all that, so I think that's not the problem. Anyway, so but either way, I went ahead and I tried to install the RCPS3 emulator, and this machine came with Windows 11, so I tried it with Windows 11, and I tried to get the emulator to run, and it kept coming back with an error saying it didn't have certain files or something. So I thought, okay, maybe if I get rid of this Windows 11 and use the free BSD operating system that they talk so highly about, at least, you know, the RCPS3 emulator, people talk highly about the free BSD operating system, saying that it's ideal for it and all this. Okay, so I did that. Alright, with all that wood out of there, the shed should be a whole lot lighter now, because all it is aluminum. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this on my own, but if I can't, then I'm going to have to invite a friend. Well, but then I struggled to get that installed properly, okay? Because, as you may know, if you've ever tried FreeBSD or OpenBSD, any of the BSDs out there, when it's installed, all you got is a lot, you know, something to type, right? It's just the terminal. So, well, I was a little surprised with that. I thought I was going to have a desktop type of a environment, but that's not what it gives you right out of the box. And well, I went ahead and worked with the terminal and everything. So I tried to install the RC PS3 emulator right there in the terminal, and it would not install. It kept telling me I needed a bunch of other stuff, and I'd go ahead and get all these other requirements. Well, it turned out then that wasn't going to work. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get another Linux operating system on here. But the FreeBSD pretty much took hostage of my computer and would not allow me to go back into BIOS to put a different operating system on it. And then somebody in the FreeBSD forum had pity upon me and helped me out. Okay. Alright, I think I've moved it over far enough. So now I have to work it towards the pump house. That'd be fun in itself, you know. So that'll be next. So that I mean it was that. So I'm frustrated with that, and then I put Debian on it, which I trust Debian, but I used a Debian Mint, which I thought, okay, it's kind of the best of both worlds, and I knew I could use it. So I put that on. Then I tried to install the emulator right there. I tried, you know, just by doing what the instructions tell you to do at the RC PS3 website, and it just didn't work. Okay, and then it would tell me I needed to install a bunch of other stuff. Okay, through the terminal, which okay, I went ahead and jumped through them hoops, but still, it would not install properly. Finally, on some obscure website, I found what I had to type into the terminal to make it work, so that the emulator would start up. So then the emulator would start up, but then of course I had no games yet. So I tried to download some games, some of my favorite games that I have on disc already. And I went ahead and tried to import them, but I couldn't do that. It wouldn't let me do it as the website told me I could. I mean, you know, nothing was going right. Well, so, okay, I thought, all right, you know what, forget this. This is getting to be too much. I'm going to get, maybe it's a video card I need. So, okay, so I go on Facebook Marketplace. I purchase a 4 gig GeForce NVIDIA, I think it's a 1050 or something, video card that I mean, I only paid like $60 for it, but still. So I went ahead and drove into Gainesville, Florida, got this card, took it home, installed it, installed the drivers, I mean, got it going just right, and then tried to do what I was trying to do earlier, trying to get this game going. It was still nothing was working. So I thought, well, heck, I'll just try to buy another PS3 or just a board. All I really needed was the board anyway. So I found an old PS3 that somebody was selling for like $40, and I thought, okay, this, you know. So I even messaged back. I said, does this thing work? You know, and oh yeah, it works. Well, I don't see how in the world they could have figured that out, because first of all, they didn't even have a cord for it. Okay, they didn't have an HDMI cable. I had to bring a bunch of this stuff with me, but I didn't bring the cord with me because I didn't know at that time. I didn't even know they didn't have a cord for it. So the guy's trying to rig up some kind of a cord, you know, and he had to hold the wires together and all that. And mainly I just thought, okay, if I can see this thing working, and if I can see that the green light comes on and it's not going to go directly into the red light of death or yellow light of death or any of that kind of thing, which means that it's not going to work, I thought, fine, it's probably good. I got home, hooked it all up, and naturally, with my luck, it didn't work. I mean, I got nothing. It came on, okay, but there was nothing on the screen. Nothing. Meaning that, and I thought something was wrong, because when I plugged in the HDMI cable, it was really super loose. So yeah, I guess the HDMI port is bad. At least I think that's what it is. So I mean, I even looked to see I scrutinized it over it carefully to make sure all the pins were intact and it wasn't all bent up inside or any of that. I thought, all right. So I thought, I'm going to take it apart. So I did that. Started taking it apart, and right when I removed the main lid on it, okay, the top portion, a bunch of roaches come flying out of it, okay? I'm running around stomping roaches, and I took the PS3 and I just threw it outside. And later, after I figured that the roaches kind of figured that they were evicted out of that PS3, I went back outside, gathered it all up, took it apart outside, which was a good thing because not all the roaches that were in there, you know, took the hint and left. And I had to get rid of all those roaches. Took the board, and I figured, okay, I'll take this board and fix that HDMI port as good as I could. I mean, I thought it did pretty good, and I made the port so that the cable would fit in there better and everything. I sprayed it down with contact clean, the whole bit. I mean, I took a lot of good care with it. Anyway, and I used all my other parts, okay, from my other PS3. Plugged it in, still no video. So there went, you know, $40. That I mean, you know, lesson learned: do not buy a PS3 or pretty much anything without seeing it work, okay, fully, right? Okay, now what I've done here is I've connected a dog leash to the shed, okay, and I have a come along right here, okay, that I have up against the old well. It's serving some kind of a purpose here. So let me set this up, try to get the shed a little bit closer. I go ahead and then I'm back at trying to get these games to work, okay, on the computer again, through the emulator. And I figured out what I had to do. I had to mount the actual game in order to install it into the emulator. That was never mentioned in the RCP S3 website. And okay, so I got the game in to go into the emulator. So I'm like just making some progress gradually, it seems. So I start up one of the games. Okay, one of my favorite ones is Infamous. So I start the game, and it is running like super sluggish. And I heard that it might do that until it installs all the shaders and all that kind of stuff. Then I had a problem getting the emulator to recognize the PS3 game controller, which I'm still sort of having a hard time with. Okay, so I thought, well, I even installed the game controller driver, okay, in the for Linux, which I did, and then it recognized it. But the thing is it's not really playing well. It still won't recognize all the buttons for some weird reason. Alright, now that I'm pretty much right to the pump, I got to cut away some more of the structure on the shed. So I just got to cut here, 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 and here. And then I can drag it in the rest of the way. So here we go. So trying to get these games to play on a computer through that emulator is not just easy peasy at all. I mean, you have to struggle to get every step of the way, man. I mean, they don't tell you none of this. They tell you it's all so very easy. You can watch these videos. Oh, it's real easy. All you have to do is click on this, click on that, and here you go. No. No. This is a very agonizing process. And right now, I'm still playing around with this thing to get it running right. And I don't know, maybe somebody out there can help me. I mean, I'm really struggling to make this happen. And it's still running, the game's still running really sluggish. And so what I'm going to actually try to do next, my next step here, okay, is to I have to get a Blu-ray DVD player so that I can actually burn the DVD, the Blu-ray DVD that I have, into an ISO file format, which I guess I'm going to try next. I'm going to see if that actually helps. So here we are. The well is in its new home. However, I still want to move the well over towards what would be, the way you're looking at it would be towards the left, so that I could put something else in there if I wanted, you know, like a wheelbarrow or what have you. So I'm going to move this. Let's see. I mean, I could never have imagined that I'm going to be worried about trying to be able to play a favorite game or something like that on my computer. You know, jumping through all these hoops just to do that. So, in the meantime, I went ahead and installed Steam, and so I'm able to play a few things. You know, some older games that I really enjoyed in the past and stuff. Okay. Alright, well there it is. Alright, so the only thing I need to do now really is put that back siding back in place, and I think we're good. You know, I don't have enough battery power today, so I'll do this another time. Thank you for watching. You don't have to like the video, but I do appreciate if you subscribe and comment.